What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Gamescom 2021. Talk about that. I actually think it's going to be pretty darn cool. So this is kind of my expectations video, my hype kind of video. Over the next couple days, we'll have a few more. I'll talk about things that I really feel confident about that are going to be at Gamescom, things that I don't feel as confident about. So we're going to do that probably the next 2 days, and then Wednesday is... And again, when I talk about Gamescom is a multi-day thing. It seems like there is going to actually be things like that we should be paying attention to more than just that Jeff Keighley live stream, right? Like days after, things to watch. But mainly when I'm making these kind of videos, I'm talking about that 2-hour live stream, 30 plus games, extended looks or extended gameplay, stuff like that. That's generally what I'm talking about. And also, just so we're all kind of clear, right? I'm recording this on Wednesday. So this is before, by the time you guys see this, Jeff Keighley probably will have like the hype trailer. He may confirm different games. So that's why for this specific video, I don't want to go so much into predictions because certain things, I could talk about now, but maybe they'll get, revealed in a few days. It would become outdated, okay? But with all that stuff being still said, I still feel, I feel good about this. Now, I like to make these videos for kind of all of these events. I've recently started doing it over the last year or so. Like Game Awards, Summer Game Fest, Gamescom. I felt good about Summer Game Fest. We made all the videos. We talked about it. I talked about it for like a month before. I talked about E3 for a month before. We co-streamed and we watched, Summer Game. Oh, which, by the way, let me just say, Gamescom, we will be co-streaming it on this channel on Wednesday. It's at 11 a.m. Pacific or 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll be doing it on the channel. Probably go live half an hour before, but you guys can watch it with me if you want. That would be really awesome. We're going to have a lot of fun. When we watch Summer Game Fest, what? Were there definitely times where, it was a yawn fest and it was like, okay, I'm just not interested? Sure. But, overall, from what they showed, I was fine with it. I think for these events, you got to put them in perspective. And Gamescom last year, from what I remember, okay, now there's a lot of events, I've moved since last year, certain things have happened, all that stuff, but, from what I remember Gamescom being last year was a whole lot of boring, okay, there were, several segments of, 5-10 minutes of just, focusing on one thing that I didn't care about, which definitely slowed the pace and, just generally wasn't interesting, but there were also the bigger things. I remember Crash being there, Dragon Age had the kind of, that behind the scenes reel again, right? Jeff Keighley likes to talk to Dragon Age people. But there were things. And so, again, for this year, it sounds like it's going to be very similar. Now, again, I don't know what's been confirmed, what hasn't been confirmed, but, 2 hours, there's going to be gameplay, there's going to be new games announced, there's going to be updates on games that are already kind of coming. I think it can be really cool. I do. I think the potential for this year is going to be good. And I think it really is just, I'm not saying lower your expectations. You guys go into it thinking and expecting whatever you want. That's a big part of the channel is to think and act for yourself. I don't want to tell you guys how to think. With that being said, I will give you guys, not necessarily advice, but I'll tell you from my perspective, lowering my expectations kind of, but also just going in expecting whatever. You know what I mean? You're going to get a couple big things that are going to be exciting. They're going to be things you can talk about. There's going to be things you flat out don't care about, but you got to remember that there are other people out in the world that do care. You know what I mean? Even for E3 or even for any of these things, or when EA went, right? When EA did their EA Play Live, Apex Legends was a huge part of that. I don't care. I literally could care less. But am I aware that that game gets tens of millions of players? Yeah. So to say nobody cares about that or that was boring, well, trust me, guys, to many people, Apex Legends is their life. It's the only thing that they play. You know what I mean? So, and that's, I know it's a silly thing to say, or I know, for, me and you, again, we really do not care, and I understand that, but you have to think, when you're throwing this show, you're trying to get people to watch, as many people as you possibly can, and they're all going to have different interests, so it's just something to kind of keep in the back of your head to remember with these events. It's well, why are these stupid things at Gamescom, or the Game Awards, or E3, or whatever? It's because they kind of, there has to be that kind of diversity, and while I don't like it, I don't care about it, I understand it. So I really think, though, this Gamescom is going to be something good. I think specifically because, I don't know what necessarily, this year obviously has had many, many delays. So when you look to the end of this year, early next year. There are a lot of possibilities for things that can be at Gamescom, you know what I mean? Lego Star Wars, now again, I don't know if that's been confirmed or not, but like, that'll be pretty cool if it's there. Dying Light 2, we know is going to be at Gamescom in general, like they're going to talk about things. I don't know if it's going to be at Jeff's live stream, although it's definitely possible, right? But like, that right there, like if there's Dying Light 2, Lego Star Wars, and then throw in one or two other, you know, medium to big size games, that's pretty darn good. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, you have, you know, an hour and 45 minutes, you know, to fill elsewhere, but I think that's a pretty good starting point. You know what I mean? Again, as always, there's going to be the games that we like, that we care about. There's going to be surprises that we've never seen before, but maybe look interesting or look cool. And then there's going to be the games that we just flat out don't care about. That tends to be how all of these Jeff Keighley events go. And it's, you know, it's not, again, I'm not telling you what to think or your expectations, but in terms of like what I actually think is going to be there, that's kind of it. And it'll be a little bit different too. You know, Summer Game Fest is definitely all of these, Summer Game Fest, the Game Awards, and this Gamescom are, you know, they're similar in the way they're Jeff Keighley, and he likes to do his shows a certain way, and you can kind of predict some of this, you know, how it's kind of gonna go. But you know, Gamescom, as he's kind of noted, right, being able to see those extended kind of gameplay demos, that's where I think it's either going to sink or swim, right? Because if we see a long gameplay demo on, like, Lego Star Wars, again, people like me, that's awesome. I actually want that, you know what I mean? But there could be others that literally don't care, and then that's a waste. And then, you know, much like last year, there could be a 5, 10, 15-minute just presentation on a game that I could literally care less about, and that's, you know, that's like 1/8 of the show, you know, 15 minutes, that's 1/8 of the show gone, and like it slowed the show down, all of that stuff. So I'm still, you know, I'm excited for it. I'm hoping for good things. In terms of, you know, again, I don't want to necessarily do full-on predictions because things could be announced. I mean, like Hogwarts Legacy, I'd love to see there. You know, I'd love to see Sony do something at some point in their lives, but I think they'll just kind of go on their own. I don't necessarily think they'll be, well, maybe like a Death Stranding thing. But again, you know, going too much into predictions, I don't know what's going to happen between when I'm recording it and when it comes out. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. Again, I will be co-streaming Gamescom, you know, that day, so make sure you guys come here if you want to watch it with me. That would be really, really awesome. We always have a ton of fun on those live streams. I'll cover Gamescom, you know, right after the biggest things. I'll make some videos on, you know, that Wednesday, Thursday as well, okay? All of my social media links are in the description below. My Twitter, my second channel, our Patreon and YouTube memberships if you guys want to check those out. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.